Hi everybody, I am Naufal. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss regarding directing. So what is mean by directing? Directing is one of the important function of the management. Directing is the one of the important function of the management. Directing means if you are a manager, you are instructing, you are guiding your subordinates, that is your workers, to work effectively and efficiently. That is directing. Instructing and guiding workers to work effectively and efficiently. That is directing. So the main thing that is coming under directing is supervision, communication, motivation, leadership and order giving. These are the main things that is coming under directing. So directing means you are guiding and instructing the workers to work effectively and efficiently. They have to work effectively. So you are giving instruction and you are guiding them. That is directing. Next we can see the definition of directing. So directing is the process in which the managers instruct, guide and oversee the performance of the workers to achieve predetermined goals. So the definition is directing is the process in which the managers instruct, guide and oversee. Okay. So directing is the process in which the managers instruct, guide and oversee the performance of the workers to achieve the predetermined goals. So what the manager is doing? The manager is instructing and guiding and overseeing. Overseeing means overlooking the performance of the workers to achieve predetermined goals. That is the definition of directing. Directing is the process in which managers instruct, guide and oversee the performance of the workers to achieve predetermined goals. That is pre-planned goals. To achieve the goal, the manager is giving the instruction, he is guiding and he is overseeing, that is he is overlooking the performance of the workers. That is directing. Next we can see the principles of directing. Okay. Principles of directing. The first principle is harmony of objectives. First principle of directing is harmony of objectives. So harmony of objective means unity of goals. Unity of goals. According to this principle, employees' goal should go one by one along with the organizational goal. Employees' goal should go side by side with organizational goal. Every organization will have a goal. To achieve that goal, employees' goal should go one by one, step by step they should go. Then only it will reach to the organizational goal. The organization will have a main goal. So employees' goal should go side by side to achieve that goal. That is the first principle, harmony of objective. That means unity of goals. Okay, otherwise employees' goal will go one side and the organizational goal will be another. So there will not be any progress in that organization. To achieve that goal, employees' goal should go side by side with organizational goals. That is the first principle. Next, second one is appropriate technique. The second principle is appropriate techniques. According to this principle, the manager should use appropriate technique that is suitable to the situation as well as to the employees. The technique that is used by the manager should be suitable to the situation. According to the situation, the manager should use the technique as well as according to the level of the employee. The technique that is using, that should be acceptable and understandable to the employee also. So according to the employee as well as according to the situation, the technique should be used. That is appropriate technique. Okay. Next principle is unity of command. Next principle is unity of command. As we have already discussed in the principles of management, unity of command, same only, always the employee should receive the command or the order or the instruction from one manager only. At a time, the employee, the worker should receive the order from one manager only, not two. What will happen if the employee is getting instruction or the command from two manager? One manager is telling to do and another manager is telling to not to do. So what will happen? Definitely confusion will occur to the worker. So there should be a unity in the command. Unity in the command means always the employee should receive the instruction or the order or the command from one manager only. That is the next principle. Next one is direct supervision. Direct supervision. So according to this principle, the supervision, as much as possible, the manager or the supervisor should maintain a direct contact with the employee. As much as possible, the supervision should be direct, not indirect. A direct contact should be maintained between the supervisor as well as the employee. Whenever supervising, it should be direct. As much as possible, it should be direct only. So what will happen? There will be a intimacy to the employee if you are maintaining a direct contact with the subordinate. Subordinate means the person who is working under you if you are a manager. So there will be a intimacy between you. They will feel a intimacy. Okay, that is the next principle. Next one is effective leadership. Next principle is effective leadership. So effective leadership means in directing, next principle is effective leadership. According to this principle, the leadership should be highly effective, not for a namesake. It should be highly effective. The leader should be a influencing leader. Okay, the leader should be a influencing leader. He should influence the team. That should be effective, not for just a namesake leadership, but it should be a effective leadership. Okay, that is the next principle. Next one is effective communication. Next principle is effective communication. So what is meant by communication? You are exchanging your idea to another person. Exchanging of idea from one person to another person. That is communication. So it should be a effective communication. Whenever the manager is communicating to the workers, it should be clear, it should be concise, and it should be acceptable, and it should be understandable. So the communication should be effective. It should be clear. Whenever the manager is communicating, it should be clear and it should be concise. It should reach to the each and every workers clearly. That is effective communication. Next one is utilization of maximum individual efforts. Next principle is utilization of maximum individual efforts. So here utilization of maximum individual effort. According to this principle, every employee will have their capacity and capability. So the manager should maximum utilize their effort to achieve the goal of the organization, to achieve the goal of the institution, or to achieve the goal of the hospital, to achieve the goal of the organization. The manager should utilize the maximum effort of each and every employee in that organization to achieve that goal. Okay, so utilization, using the maximum effort of the workers, that is this principle. Next one is use of informal communication. Next principle is use of informal communication. So here in the principle of directing, the manager should use the communication technique, informal communication. Informal communication means that is a communication that is occurring between the friends or the family members. It is not a official communication or it is not a formal, but it is informal. The communication that is occurring between the friends. For example, the communication that is occurring between the manager and the worker in the canteen while having a cup of tea in the dining hall. The communication that is occurring, that type of informal group should be there, informal communication should be there in the organization. According to the principle of directing, we have to use of informal communication, not a formal but informal communication should be used. Next principle is clear orders. Clear orders. Whatever order or whatever instruction or whatever command you are giving, whatever instruction you are giving, it should be, if the manager is giving any order to do or not to do, you have to, it should be clear. It should be clear to the employees. It should be clear to the subordinates. It should be concise. It should be short. It should be concise. It should be understandable to the workers. It should be acceptable to the subordinates. So, clear order. Order should be clear. It should be crystal clear. There should not be any doubt to any employees. It should be clear. That is the principle, that is clear orders. Last principle is follow up. Last principle is follow up. So, here we know directing is not a one-time process. It is a continuous process. So, according to this principle, whatever instruction you are giving, whatever command you are giving, whatever order you are giving, whatever supervision you have did, you have to evaluate it, whether they are doing it properly or not, whether it is effective or not, whether they are completing it or not. You are just giving the instruction or you are just giving the command or you are just supervising, finish. That is wrong. There should be a follow up. You have to evaluate it, whether it is effective or not, whether they are doing it properly or not, whether any correction is required or not. So, there should be a follow up in the directing. Whenever you are directing, you have to make a follow up. You have to evaluate whether they are doing it properly. That is the last principle of directing. Next, we can see regarding the elements of directing. You can see regarding the elements of directing. Elements of directing. So, the first element of directing is supervision. Supervision is the first element of directing. So, what is meant by supervision? Supervision means you are observing the workers to make sure that they are working according to the plan of the organization and helping them in solving problem. So, first element is supervision. Supervision means if you are a manager or if you are a supervisor, you are observing your workers for what? To make sure that they are working according to the plan of the organization, and also you are helping the workers to solve their problems. That is supervision. So, supervision is the one of the element of directing. Next one is communication. As I have already told regarding the communication, communication is also one of the element of directing. Communication means exchanging of idea from one person to another person. The manager is exchanging an idea to the workers. That is communication. So, communication is an element of directing. In communication, whenever you are communicating, if you are a manager, it should be clear. Again I am telling, it should be concise, it should be understandable, and it should be acceptable to the employees, to the subordinate, to the workers. That is the next element, that is communication. Next one is leadership. Next element is leadership. So, leadership is the next elements of directing. So, leadership means an individual is influencing a group of individuals. An individual is influencing a group of people. So, he is influencing the group of people. So, leadership is very important. It should be effective. It should be highly effective. So, the leader should bring life to the group. You have to motivate the group. So, leader should be a highly effective leader. He should influence the team to achieve the goal. That is leadership. Next one is motivation. Next one is motivation. Motivation is the next element of directing. Motivation means you have to encourage. If you are a manager, you have to encourage your worker, you have to inspire your worker, you have to reinforce. A positive reinforcement should be there for the workers, because every employee will have a hidden capability. Through motivation, through encouragement, through inspiration, we can activate that hidden capability of the workers. To achieve the goal, we can activate the capability of the workers. Some hidden capability will be there. Through continuous motivation, through inspiration, it will help to achieve the goal, as well as it will help to activate the hidden capability of the workers. So, motivation is the next element of directing. Last one is order giving. Last one is order giving. The last element of directing is order giving. So, here in order giving, the manager should give order or the instruction to the workers. Okay, the manager should give the order and instruction to the workers how to work. In order giving also, it should be, if it is an order also, it should be clear, it should be concise, it should be acceptable, and it should be understandable to the workers. That is regarding order giving. Okay, so we have discussed regarding directing, principles of directing, and the elements of directing. That's all regarding directing. We will meet soon with another video. Till that time, thank you and goodbye.